Farmers markets, hey, wonderful places to buy local fruits, vegetables, and other products that are unique to the area, especially as the summer months are upon us and you're traveling. Neat thing to do. But what is in those products? Well, that takes us to this week's case. It involves three women in Lafayette, Wisconsin. And in Lafayette County, Wisconsin, they had begun a business in which they were making pastries. Well, like any beginning business, they were making these pastries in their home. And they were selling them at farmers markets and various other venues, and things were going along relatively well for them until up jumps a state regulator. And the state said, hey, gals, you need to be licensed. They said, really? Okay, well, what do we need for a license? So they researched it and found that, importantly, in order to be licensed, they essentially needed to make their pastries in a commercial kitchen subject to various conditions. Well, they said, oh, we can't do that. We can't afford a commercial kitchen at this point in our business, and essentially our efforts in our business is going to go down the drain. So what can we do? And they thought about it, they consulted with an attorney, and they then decided to bring suit against the state of Wisconsin, arguing that the regulations as they existed were a denial of due process. Why? Because they pointed out that there were various other foods that were prepared in home kitchens, canned goods, jams, jellies, that were sold at farmers markets and various other venues, and they were sold there even though they were made in a home kitchen, not in a commercial kitchen. They said basically this is arbitrary by the state to require this, and it essentially is a denial of due process to us. They brought suit, as I say. Well, it went to court, and there the arguments that were presented on behalf of the state were, hey, this is a health issue. This is a health issue because pastries are baked, they're a fresh good, they're not canned, they're not subject to pasteurization, and therefore we don't know exactly what conditions are used, whether they're fully processed, whether they're fully baked, or what else is going on, and accordingly we need to have regulation for public health purposes. Well, the judge heard the case, and he was certainly influenced by the argument of due process, but also questions arose of what kind of specific health issues does the state possess with pastries that are different than the health issues that would exist with jams, jellies, and other canned goods. And with regard to them being a fresh product, what could happen in the actual baking process that would be different in a commercial kitchen versus a regular home kitchen? Well, after hearing the evidence, the judge came away and said, in my opinion, this is a denial of due process, and I find in favor of these three women, and accordingly, I find that the state cannot enforce this regulation against them and preventing them from preparing pastries at their home and offering them for sale to the public. Okay, well, we bring you this case in order to show what can happen with a fledgling business and how many times state regulations, which are designed, obviously, according to the state, for public health, in some instances really can be overbearing. And that's one of the things these women argued, is that it was really designed by those who were in the business to prevent others from getting into the business. And if the state lacks a very compelling reason for such regulations, well, it may turn out that somebody can start their business and proceed to move forward as they were hoping to, as we saw these three women in Wisconsin do. Okay, we bring you this case. We bring cases every week so you understand how the law works. I'm David Allen.